Half and one. Hello and welcome to the Ladies Tale podcast.
Oh my goodness, I was about to say the woman's cave.
See, aren't you glad? Oh, so Winona, right? Today. No. The world needs to know, Winona. The world needs to know. So she put on her lipstick. And you know how she has this wonderful shade of red. Well, maybe you don't know because you're listening to the podcast. So just going over to the video. She always has a wonderful shade of red. And today, like I think she put on gloss or something, so it was like dripping down her like chin, like she was a vampire. So, I have to say that because it's hilarious. And yes, I'm Jade though.
I have things to say, but now I have to introduce myself.
No,
you just cut me off. Okay, I'm Winona, and I'd like to say in my defense,
I feel like I'm winning today. I feel like win is happening.
You're not winning. I'm still sipping on my.
I think that my name today is Jade Winning D.
I'm done. I'm just out. I'm over.
It's Jade over. Winning D in the house.
It's as bad as the teeth. Oh my goodness. We have books.
We have literary life guides with pop poetry. She didn't know. Like she just lose. It's okay. Well, sometimes everyone has to lose.
It's fine, but it's bad for a narcissist to lose. Anyway, moving on.
You know, I had so many jokes, right? And I had to I reined them back. And
thank you. It's bad for a narcissist to lose because it's a blow to our self-esteem. Huge blow.
I mean, but can't a narcissist, by definition, be taken down a peg or two?
Books.
Winning. I'm telling you today, it's Jade Winning Day. Yeah, so we have literary life guides with pop poetry, like what we like to call our books, and I thought divorce was bad with other life lessons, and I thought being grown up was easy.
And I'm destroying the set. I know.
So you can't win. So you destroy the set like a narcissist.
Yes, if I can't win, I'll destroy you. Moving on.
The Woman's Cave and Other Pop Poems: A Misfit Guide, which was number one
on bestsellers.
I'm right on Amazon for a few days, and it was literally the poetry anthology, which we don't like that word anthology. It makes it sound
old and boring.
So what we do say is literary life guide. So yes, do one literary life guide poetry. And then if only I were me, you can check out everything your ladies are doing. I do mean everything, and maybe even some boring stuff that you wish you never knew about us at www.andwethought.com. Winona.
I think that's good. Wonderful guest.
Yes.
I like to introduce yourself. I shouldn't have had 3 cocktails before getting on.
Okay, so wonderful guest. Would you like? We have a wonderful guest in the Ladies Tale Cave today, I guess. And would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is TJ Wims, actor and stuntman out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and I'm just happy to be here.
I mean, we are so happy to have him. Like he saves our life on a regular basis.
I know. Okay.
I think a stuntman is like what he's like. I'm gonna save your life. No, I got it. I'm gonna save you. Like stand aside.
Just jump in.
So, in case you don't know, TJ plays Ronald on The Managers, which you can hear on the Ladies Tale podcast.
This very podcast.
This interview is kind of like a dream come true.
Right. We can talk to our Ronald.
Because I've been wanting to interview the Ronald, the voice behind Ronald for a minute.
So thank you.
So quickly though, before we get started on my stuff, let's talk about you. So you are in the Air Force and now you're an actor. How on earth did you do that? And
after 20 years of being in the military, I just went straight into being a coach. I did MMA, I played football, I pretty much played every sport outside of water. And I did that for about the first 7 years. And then one day my wife just said, "Hey, have you ever thought about being an actor?" And I was like, well, I guess I could give it a shot. And 2 weeks later, I went to my first audition. I got the role. 13 lines, 2 fight scenes. And basically that's what they wanted me for, were the fight scenes. And the character just happened to have a few lines. And after the first time reading and being in front of the camera, I was immediately addicted to it. I mean, I was like, this is for me. This is what I'm going to do from now on. I'm done with everything else. This is all I want.
It just seems to go from such a disciplined life to be like, I want to be a creative. I'm sorry. To me, it seems weird. Probably to nobody else. And Jade is shaking her head. You see?
Well, when you're in the military for 20 years and you're being told exactly what to do all the time, and you have to have your hair a certain way, you have to dress a certain way, you have to have it, and then so to be into something where you can be anything any day. One day I could have a beard, one day my hair could be long, one day I could have a scar on my face, one day I'm a good guy, one day I'm a bad guy. I mean, that's a lot of fun.
Well, I can see living the life, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. I always thought that actors like just kept all those personalities in their head. So now that I'm
Well,
talking,
this other thing is if I would have tried to do this when I was 20, it would have never worked because I didn't have any actual life that I had lived yet. My 20-year-old self would have been, I think would have been a horrible actor. Now, I even think my 30-year-old self would have been a horrible actor. But to get into when I was 45 and have all those life experiences, I think that's what's helped me be a decent actor at this point.
Wait,
you're
excuse
45.
me. You're 40. You're
47, actually. I started when I was 45 in acting.
Okay, so what I'm gonna need, if y'all are like listening to the podcast, I'm gonna need y'all to switch on over, go on to Facebook, and see like what. Go on. First of all,
I look a lot younger when I shave, but I have my quarantine beard, so.
Oh, well, you're allowed to have your quarantine beard. I mean, come on, I have my quarantine 20 pounds. Like, I'm gonna blame it on quarantine, but I just know it because I like to eat. But I'm gonna blame it on quarantine though, right? Because why not? So first of all, I'm 47. First of all, I need to be ass fit and look like young, like
as the English would say, I need to look well fit.
Well fit, well fit. Like
that's rude. You told us we can't say that anymore. That people are handsome and or cute or fit. Well, moving on. You have trophies, so that explains.
Oh, it's my office. I have a bunch of random stuff. I have my retirement thing from the president. I have a signed thing from all the pilots in my last unit for the A-10s. That was from when I worked at Global Hawk out at Beale Air Force Base. And then I have like a bodybuilding trophy, a volleyball one, a martial arts one. I got this one when I used to beat people up back in the day when I was big and mean.
Wow. He used to. You see, because he was a bodybuilder, so I can say
that's true.
That I would like to be 47 and fit. See, it's not mean. It's not weird now.
That's true.
It's
actually a fact.
Thank you.
If you have a bodybuilding trophy, it's a fact.
It's a fact.
There
okay?
You go.
It's a fact.
I got videos, pictures, all that good stuff. So it actually happened. And I didn't even have to put it on Facebook. That's the best part.
Okay, so but if it's not on social media, did it actually?
No, if you go to my Instagram page, you'll see like all my old jiu-jitsu stuff. Like when I competed at Abu Dhabi, I got a couple of silver medals from there. A lot of when I played college football, there's pictures from that stuff when I was much younger. When I did professional wrestling, I was a professional wrestler for 4 years. I used to weigh 265 pounds. And since I was very athletic, I could take one step and jump to the top rope and then, flip off the top rope and do whatever and stuff like that. So a lot of fun.
That is really cool. Like,
I mean, your kids have to think you're like the coolest person.
All I can do is write.
When they were little, yeah, they're adults now. They have their own world. They do their own thing. I'm not that cool anymore, so it's all good.
Really? Because my dad is super old and he's still super cool.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'll probably be cool to them again one day, but right now, they're being adults. The little ones think I'm cool. Every once in a while I'll pop up on a music video, so I'll show them like an Usher music video or what's that on Demi Lovato or Rowdy Rich, and they're like, oh look, there's my little spot, something cool like that.
Oh, nice. Okay, first of all, we get to interview someone who's much more famous than us. This is nice.
This is great, right? I mean, but it doesn't really, and not to diminish your fame. But I just need to say this to Winona. It doesn't take that much to be like not that famous and be a poet. I'm just saying.
Moving on.
I'm just saying. Someone that likes genre probably is
more famous than us. But anyway, moving on. From that, you actually have a cause, I believe. I like scrolled through your Facebook page and I thought I saw a cause.
There's a good chance. I mean, back when I was doing MMA, our gym used to do a lot of stuff for youth, kids that come in to learn self-defense, to teach them to defend themselves and what to do in case there's something happens. I've done that for a long time. I used to teach women self-defense when I was in college and stuff like that. And to anyone who wanted to learn, I would teach over at Nellis Air Force Base, basic self-defense and things like that. And, just teaching people how to defend themselves if needed to. And I think everybody should be able to do that. My kids know a little bit of jiu-jitsu and judo. My stepkids do too. I taught them a little bit of Muay Thai, a little bit of jiu-jitsu, just in case, something happens, you should be able to defend yourself to get yourself somewhere safe fast. I'm not saying you need to stay there and bang with somebody, but, something you can do, nuts, nose, neck, whatever, and get out of there to save yourself.
That's amazing.
Hey, good. Yeah.
So now it's very interesting because what we've written for you and what you play on our manager is kind of like
completely
opposite of
yeah. That's the beauty of acting though, is that I can be completely someone else and do something completely different every single time. And I think that's just, it's like being a 12-year-old kid again. I get to play. And that's like, my soul right there is when anytime I get to make my 8 to 12-year-old self happy. Because that's why I look out, like I do something, I'm like, how would my 8-year-old self feel about this? Like when I shot the movie Tenet, I mean, I was just a background guy. I was on set for 22 days, but you had to take that moment and go, oh my God, I'm in this uniform in this futuristic movie running around trying to kill John David Washington and Robert Pattinson. I mean, come on, how cool is that?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I mean, it doesn't get any cooler than that.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing it up, because I've been sitting here this whole time like, how do I get this in this conversation? And then you just name dropped it. It was awesome.
And it was amazing. And thank you for doing it. So now we seem super cool. Like our real credit has went up so high, right? Because like we started down here as some poets, right? Which and then we're like, hey, we have all these cool people on it. Now he's like in the real, like this is awesome. This is good stuff.
Which now brings us to the question that we really want to know about every movie set. Was how was craft services? Although with you being well fit, it's just not even worth it.
No. See, I normally eat, when I eat normally, my normal everyday eating is very, very clean. My diet is very strict. I stick to a certain, a regimen. But when I'm on set, that's my cheat day. And then I judge the entire set by how good the craft services is.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. Okay, so literally it's on our bucket list. This is both our bucket list to get to eat craft services. Because she read about it in a book one day and she told me, and I was like, what do we have to do besides act? Because I'm never gonna be that fit in my life. And I need to probably like grow a good foot. And that's not gonna happen.
Oh, I put some weight on the Tenet movie. When we first started, it was super, super hot and we're in full Kim gear and you're out there in that desert and you're sweating. I think I lost like 15 pounds the first 2 days just from sweating. But the craft services there, once you figure out where the crafty trucks are, the way they treat Warner Brothers, oh my God, they know how to feed you. Holy smokes. I would walk around because the Russians, we didn't get a lot of work. So as soon as I get off the bus, I'd head over to Crafty's after I already had this magical breakfast and I get 2 bagels and lox.
Yes.
Bagels and lox every day on set. 15, 20 different kinds of organic creamers, brown eggs. Oh my God, I was in heaven. So I'm just walking around, double fisting them. I've got my coffee sitting where my King gear is supposed to be, and I'm just walking around the set just happiest kid in the world.
Like I be doing. Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel like the first actor ever to admit that they did it, because everyone else was like, "Oh no, I grab a little something." And I'm like, it's free.
I go nuts when I see craft services.
And I'm being 100% honest, and I tell everyone we have friends of the directors. I'm like, if you invite me craft services, I mean to invite me on set, I 100% won't embarrass you. Because I'm trying to talk to like the stars or whatever. I 100% won't do that. But I will 110% embarrass you about how much food I will consume in that day. And then I will look like an old grandma because I'm pulling out Tupperware. No, not the throwaway, the real Tupperware. Because I actually bought real Tupperware for the time that I get craft
We have
services.
Tupperware underneath our bed, and I've had it since I was 12, and it says crafty.
Right.
Because it's specifically for that.
Right. So we have been planning a long time for this craft services. I will 110% embarrass anyone that invites me for craft services.
If you can get on a Demi Lovato set, they were doing salmon patty. Tuna patties. They were doing smoking tuna. Yes, just heating it up, and it was just flaking off. I was blown away. I couldn't believe it. Another great craft services.
I gotta tell you, the best crafty that we've ever heard about was a friend of ours used to work for the studios,
and they were saying one of their friends
and their friends does the Chicago.
But we can't say that.
Their friends does big shows for them.
Something.
Right.
And so she was like, yeah, every Friday it's all you can eat lobsters.
And I was like, if I can get on that side, I will 110% embarrass everybody that invited me.
I'm bringing a trash bag.
I would just be crushing it.
No. That's when you bring out the Tupperware. Because I'm
Tupperware. Well, I gotta eat first. I'll get mine to go too, but I gotta eat first.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm having it tomorrow too. No, this backpack isn't for signed autographs. Absolutely not. Full of Tupperware, y'all. Full of Tupperware.
Here's one for you. Me and 2 other guys, a little bit bigger than I am, we were playing security on a set. I want to say the sex, I don't want to get anybody in trouble or the people. And we were hungry because we hadn't eaten in a while. Some big boys that I'm with. So we went walking around Paramount Studios, went to another set, saw they had pizza. The 3 of us stole the pizza. went and ate it, then went back on set like nothing happened.
Oh, that's great. Oh my goodness. I love so. Okay, so we need to talk about Ronald.
We need to actually talk about what we're supposed to be talking about.
Yeah. So, how do you like playing Ronald, and what would you like him to do in the future?
Okay.
Right?
To answer the question, I'd like to say the only reason that one of the reasons I wanted to ask this question is because in the last reading he was like, "Yeah, Ronald should be choking some folks out by now." Go ahead, answer the question.
Well, that's what I was thinking, because I don't know his complete backstory, and I don't want to create my own if you guys have already created one. So I could see Ronald going a few different ways. If he really realizes that, hey man, SWAT, that's my baby, and I can't do this anymore, and I need to have my family together. And next time Jinx or some other dude rolls in there, he gets mapped. It might happen. I mean, but it could also go the other way to where he's like, you know what? If this is what we're doing for the fame, and this is how we're making our money, and we got to do this little side gig or whatever, hey, I'll roll with it. Just keep my kids out of it, and we're all good. That's how I can see it one of two ways right now.
Which way would you like to see it go?
Well, being a stuntman, even though it's just all speaking, I wouldn't mind getting a little tussle. Knocking out a leading man, that'd be great. I mean, think about that. That'd be so cool. Imagine on the red carpet, just walking up and just like, and then go, how's everybody doing tonight?
So
that's
honestly,
hilarious.
When we the first draft, when we wrote that, that's exactly
in
what
episode
Ronald
3.
did.
In episode 3,
Ronald just walked past everyone and was like, "Yo, so right in your face."
Yeah. And if that was me, if I was Ronald, that's how it would go down.
And people were like, first of all, that's not possible. We were like, that's true. And Ronald is an intellect and not one of those people.
Yeah. But that's the thing though, is he's more of a book guy. So if I think that he was going to get revenge on Jinx or anyone else, he would do it so poetically that they wouldn't even be able to realize it was him until it was so late. It would be like one of those just like, like a reveal, like, oh my God, it was you, Ronald. We knew it, something like that. Dun, dun, dun.
So next has to come my second question, which is always, where would you like to see the story end up in general for everyone?
Well, I figure after the 5th season, I think, having something maybe break off the 2 main characters, something like that would be cool. But I would love to see this just go. I've always been wanting to be part of something that's reoccurring. I like to get into it, have a character other than just that one day where you play the character. And you got to create this character for one day and then he's gone. But when you have a reoccurring character, you can build this person, and people can watch this person evolve into this awesome character. And that's what I would love to see happen. I've always wanted to have a reoccurring character that I could build up and make into something, really, really cool. Other than always being the day player where my character's already created, I got to be this guy for the day, which I do love still because it's still acting, I still love it. But to be able to build something from the ground and watch that person or that character evolve would be just, the character arc would be amazing.
I don't know if I asked this, but do you feel that Ronald has evolved in it at all in 3 episodes?
Well, it seems like the first couple episodes, it seemed like he was kind of like, yeah, whatever, I'm married, but I'm in this life. And in this last episode, when you start talking about his kids and the family starts to come in, then you start to see Ronald pull back to where like, well, I'm not sure if this is exactly where I want my family to be. Now you start to see a little bit more human side of Ronald. To where if he just, I'm a manager and I'm out here, I'm making the money, and hey, what's up, ladies, and blah 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 blah, or that, just one lady, but now it's like all of a sudden you start to see that emotion when he sees SWA with somebody else. Because at first it was no big deal. He sneaked out the hotel room, and they got the picture, whatever. It's all cool. It's all fun and games. It's part of the show. But now when that real life starts to happen, you start to see like, man, I think Ronald really loves his wife. He really loves SWA. And then see SWA with another man. And you, like you said, you originally wrote it to where, hey man, Ronald's gonna knock this dude out, but you can see the SWAT, and then Yasmin grabs him and is like, hey, come over here and talk to me before you go over there and get in that fight and make this huge thing that could ruin your career. So yeah, I could definitely see that. I like that.
And I really like that he understood that Yasmin was like, I'm trying to save your life here. like I know you want to punch him in the face, but come on, man, you gotta live past today.
Mm-hmm. And it's like of all the group, I mean, like Yasmin pretty much understands Ronald, and they get along pretty well. He has his fun with Sean and everybody else, but I think that's like his buddy right there. And of course, Mr. Henry, who doesn't love him? He's a good dude. He's always got something great to say and help somebody out.
Doesn't he though? I have to ask you, what do you think about the Ronald and Sean dynamic?
No, I liked it, and I like that it was almost like Sean had Ronald's back a little bit when him and Jinx got a little bit of a little shit talking thing there, which I thought was great because then you're like, even though Sean and Ronald, they goof off. It's like when you have a brother, like I can do and say anything I want to about my brother, but if anybody else does, they're gonna get a foot in the ass. And that's pretty much how I saw Sean actually reacting almost this time, to where Sean was like, I'm gonna go over here and screw with this guy a little bit, even though I mean everything I'm saying. And then when he gets pushed, he's like, well, you can't take a joke. Man, we know you meant every bit of that. Come on, that was all real. Sean, you do not like Jinx, and you probably don't like him because your boy Ronald, and you don't want to see Ronald and Swa have that kind of thing come in between their life because you're part of the end, so you know a little bit more than everybody on the outside watching. So that's why I think Sean came in like that. It was almost like his buddy on that movement. It was like, yeah, you know what, Jinx, screw you too. Because Ronald can't do it, so I'm going to be the one that's going to be the antagonist.
Exactly. That's just exact. Oh my goodness, it
feels
so
good.
That
it
someone
feels good. Got it. Like I was like, yeah.
It's so weird because when you're a writer, you write and you're in your world, and then when you have the actors read it, it's all of a sudden like their interpretation of your words. And you're like,
when you're like a genre, right? Or when you
write books,
we write books too, right? And you have your beta readers read it, and then like people will always have feedback, like, I saw what you were doing here, but you didn't quite finish it, or blah. So it's good to have feedback. Like, no. You finished what you started. Like,
like when I first read it, you don't really. I don't usually take everything in, but when I hear other voices reading it along with mine, and then I get a better idea of the story. Because when I'm reading it to myself, the background read and every character is being read in my voice, so it kind of blends. But when you hear everyone else, and then you can start breaking things down more because maybe they're a reflection of the way they say it. Because I'm reading it in TJ Winstone the whole time through. Except for maybe my Ronald character, because I don't really know the rest of the characters. So when they hear it that way, I understand it even more than I did when I first read it. So that's why I was able to, articulate what I'm saying right now with the character piece, because once you hear it, on top of just reading it, because I always read the script first, all the way head to toe, before I do anything. And then it's like, okay, now I get it. Now it makes sense. Now I see what Ronald's doing. Now I see what Sean's doing. Now I see the dynamic. I see how it's changed from episode 1 to episode 2, and I can see the growth of Ronald.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for that. Like, this is a good day. Like, cocktails. Yeah, there will be cocktails.
Thank you so much for playing him. You do an amazing job playing Ronald. I'm just absolutely amazing.
So where can people find out more about you? Because we are over the 17 minutes. So
I'm so sorry about that.
No, it's all good. You have a
my Instagram is TJWIMZ. My Facebook is TJWIMBS. I also have a Twitter page, which is also TJWIMZ. Feel free to check those out if you want. But most importantly, if anybody's watching, if they can go to imdb.me/TJWIMBS and check out my IMDb page, that would be awesome too, because that right there is really important to an actor, to have people go into their IMDb page, look at their videos, and help them to be, move up in their rankings in IMDb, because a lot of producers and directors and stuff like that ask for it. Even on LA Casting, when I submit a lot of times, they're like, what's your IMDb number? How many followers do you have on IMG? And I didn't realize how important the internet was. I actually had dropped all my stuff. I was like, I don't want social media. It's the worst thing in the world. And then I became an actor, and it was like, if you don't have social media, you're not going to get booked. And I was like, oh man. So I went in, I cleaned up all my social media. I got all the trash off of there, and just trying to focus it on Facebook, family. Instagram is a little bit of everything. Well, it's mostly working in my pictures of my wife, if you go on there. And then Twitter is strictly acting. I usually give my wife a Wifey Crush Wednesday, like 2-3 times a month. So
that's nice. And this is why he understands Lana.
So, exactly.
That's why I understand why Ronald want to knock Jinx out.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us today. You can find out everything your ladies are doing on www.andwethought.com. While you're there, take a moment, go to the ladies tab, go to the middle, see the charities that we follow, support, and we support them too. And if you cannot support them, maybe you can just add them on social media and say thank you for doing this wonderful work in the world. We would really appreciate it. And I'm just gonna go ahead and end the Ladies Tale podcast like we end like the Women's Cave, just because I really do love the thing. So wisdom is, just remember, y'all, wisdom is all around you if
you're open to finding it and accepting it. So peace and love, you guys, from Will No
and Jade. Oh yeah, thanks for listening.